I hope everybody had a good day. This podcast 1700block. I'm just gonna come on for a minute, answer some questions from yesterday. Um, from yesterday. I'm gonna see who gonna come in here with me. 'Cause you already know what I'm getting ready to do. Just poke that time in a minute. Um, I'll give y'all a couple minutes. Y'all a couple minutes. Get on up in here. Y'all a couple minutes to get up in here. So let me see if I get an echo again. I might don't get one this time. Y'all a couple minutes to get up in here. I'm gonna get that feedback from my over here on this side. I don't really want that. All right, let me know something. I need y'all. And I see my little brother today from another mother. He talking about every time I see you, you always mic checking, mic checking, mic checking. I said, man, I'm trying to get it right. So I'm gonna sit tight for a minute. See what we gonna do. I had an interesting question. I always try to answer the questions kind of like a day after we podcast. I was just sitting there. Um, so I'm gonna see if I can't answer this question right quick. So I'm on two platforms right now. I don't know how it's gonna sound. Hopefully I don't get no muffle, get no feedback. Y'all can watch this whenever y'all get ready. All right, okay. I see you, April. What's up? All right, so yeah, like I said, got it. What I sound like? I got a feedback over here on this side. Anyway, if I do, let me know. I don't want to echo, so I have one of my platforms turned down, and the other one is I'm on OBS on this side. I'm on Facebook Live on this side. I don't need an echo though. If I do something going on, um, see if I can't give y'all a couple minutes to get up in here with me. So, I had an interesting questions yesterday. I'm gonna read them. So hang in there. Drink a little water. Water good for you. So if you ain't drink now, drink something today. Talked about groceries and meat yesterday. That was pretty good. I learned a couple things. Podcast 1700 block for everybody. Know anything about the 1700 block? 1700 block saved my life for sure. And a couple other people too. Say they life too. So just going hang in there with the 1700 block. I'll give them a couple minutes. And then we're gonna go into some questions from yesterday. I talked about grocery stores yesterday. The best grocery stores numbered from 1 to 8. 8 being not so good, 1 being pretty good, if not the best. Um, According to the source where I got that from, excuse me, they say Wegmans is the best, one of the best for meats and poultry. Um, so to recap after that, most markets are pretty good if they have a butcher. If you have a butcher, you'll get a lot of good cuts, a lot of fresh cuts. Um, and most markets with butchers, they kind of do their own packaging, and you can get a good quality cut of meat. So I did that yesterday, and then we piggyback on a little bit of immigration. I'm still trying to figure this immigration thing out for myself and a couple other people. So I had a lot of interesting conversations about school, how the school kids adapt to um, different culture kids, mostly ours. They speak a different language, and so do we. They kind of separate themselves from, us, and I guess we separate ourselves from them. Um, and they were saying a lot of schools is predominantly Hispanic and migrants or illegals. So now I'm kind of really understanding what's going on with this Trump thing, and a lot of people coming to the U.S. for various reasons, and not leaving, staying past the expiration date, not following the rules, the U.S. Um, and they moving in our neighborhoods, they hiding, and they not coming outside. So what's getting ready to happen is they get ready to start posting reward money. And so if you call and turn somebody in, um, they'll give you money. So yeah, I guess it's gonna be a whole bunch of people getting called in because somebody clearly gonna call and get their money. So question was posed yesterday: how could Donald Trump run and be a convicted felon and run and become president? So the Constitution requires a U.S. The U.S. Constitution outlines that qualifications for being president, which are limited to being a natural born U.S. citizen, being at least 35 years old, having residence in the U.S. for at least 14 years. The Constitution does not explicitly mention criminal record or felony convictions as a disqualification. So, hey, Roy, um, you could be a convicted felon and run. And it talks about no federal law against it. There's nothing under federal law that prevents a convicted felon from running for or serving as president. Donald Trump, after being convicted of 34 felony convictions in New York, became the first convicted felon to be elected president. So he is actually the first convicted felon. Summary: while a felony conviction might affect other aspects of a person's life, like the right to vote or some state, it does not automatically disqualify someone from running for or winning the presidency according to the U.S. Constitution. So the Constitution says that it's fine. So, wow, picture that. So, I guess you can run for president and be a convicted felon, but you can't have a job working for certain places to be a convicted felon. Wow, that's amazing. Hey, Mr. Foy, how you doing? Hey, Karen. Um, so that's that question. Um, so we all for that. So I was talking to my good friend, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about her, and I'm gonna talk about her because she's smart. And a lot of times I'll call and I'll ask her stuff. And so I asked her something today, and she got irritated, and I don't know why. And my thing is this: if you know somebody and they're intelligent and you need some information from them, I think you should be able to call them because it says that they're pretty intelligent and they know something that you want to know. I don't think nothing wrong with that. Um, just wanted to say that because I know she's gonna say something to me. Why would you say that? So, how y'all know president can run? Um, Another question was that certain race think that they better than us, and they was talking about Caucasian or white people, or I don't know, but they saying that why do certain people, mostly reds, think I don't like the word white, so I try not to use it. Um, but that's what I'm talking about. Question was posed: why do they think they better than us? And like I've like I've said before, I mean that's a tricky question because I think some races think that they better than the next race. I mean, we think as Afro Americans or dark skinned people, black people, Afro Americans, however you want to address yourself, um, I think we top 10 over a lot of people. I kind of understood what she was saying, and what she was saying probably was they feel now Miss Scott said, I mean Miss Ford, Shirley, she said the same thing a different way, that they think they privileged. Um, I think they privileged because in certain situations they have been privileged. Um, but I try to be open minded and transparent. I look at the odds. I think that we are always against the odds. I don't ever, the majority of us have faced um, a lot of racism. I think that we are always on the wrong side of the coin most of the time. Can't say all the time. So I had an interesting conversation about that not too long ago. And all I really could say was some people, I'll say this based on my own experience. I'll say that I believe black men face, hey, Kevin, I believe black men face a lot of racism, more so than Afro American or black women. And I'm saying that because I'm a black man and uh, I faced it in a lot of arenas. And if you listen to me yesterday, I faced it in Walmart. No, I was at Home Depot. I faced it in Home Depot. Um, so the person I was speaking with was like, well, I've never faced that. I've never been privy to that. Um, I don't really know what that looks like. I've worked around them people all my life. And all I could say was, it just didn't come to your doorstep. Uh, I think a lot of us feel slighted with education. Um, and like I'm gonna really get into that. And like I always say, what's for us is for us. What's for me is for me. You can't take what's mine if the creator gave it to us. It's ours. You can't take it. And I talked about it yesterday because people keep saying they trying to erase our history. And I keep saying you cannot erase our history. It's here. You can't erase it. You can't hide it. You can't do nothing with it because we are living testimonies and we are living literature of a testimony. So um, books and novels, that's good. But I believe that as long as we exist, we history. Um, so another question was posed that a lot of us don't want to work. I don't know where that come from. Black people don't want to work. I don't know where that come from. Black people want to work. Um, they do a good job. They show up. We do a good job. We show up too. Um, they always on time. We on time too. We not late. We, it seems like for some reason we have certain people have had bad experiences with contractors or people that do work on your house. So now they like, if you hire Afro American or black person, um, that we don't want to work. And that's not true. And I wish people would stop saying it because it puts a cloud over our culture. It's a whole bunch of us that want to work. It's a whole bunch of us that work. It's a whole bunch of us that's sick of working. It's a whole bunch of us that's been working all our life hard every day. You're looking at one. It's people right here on the podcast that works hard every day. Get up and go when they don't want to. Don't know when we're gonna be able to stop working because we had so much invested and we try and do so much in our life that we have to work. So I don't know, and I get disturbed by it because it makes it seem like we are a lazy people, and we are far from. We're not lazy. We different. But most of us grew up with hardworking role models. If it wasn't our parents, it was people that lived in the neighborhood. People, when we grew up with, people went to work. Them people who raised us was far from lazy. Um, and I mean, well, my offspring, my kids aren't lazy. Kids work. Y'all kids work, and y'all grandkids work, and y'all instilling them to graduate. And we raise our children the way that them people raised us. So, I really get disturbed when I hear that because I'm just so opposed to it. We gonna take your money. Anybody will take your money. Anybody will take your money. Ain't just us taking your money. People take money because people steal. But I don't like that cloud. Um, so I get disturbed when I hear that. Um, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I get it. Um, so that was the questions that was opposed. And I always try to answer questions the day after, so that and I research them. So I just don't answer stuff off the top of my head. I try to I try to go to a couple different sources to get my information. And then I always try to throw a little bit of how I was raised and how my friends was raised um, into the conversation. I always read the comments and I always take the feedback. And I encourage y'all to comment so I can read y'all comments so, we can have the dialogue. And yeah, I know you work too much. Indeed. And we work hard. So I don't know where that come from. Um, Another question was posed that, um, and I kind of talked about it, but I'll talk about it again because it was another question that came up. Why should we protect people if they didn't protect us? And why should we stand with them when um so it's kind of like everybody who voted for him, he kind of he kind of peed on them. And the people who didn't vote, they in the classroom talking about ha 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 ha. That's what you get. And so my good friend was like, well, he not really coming for us. Like they not really looking for us. They looking for them. Um, I don't know how that's gonna work. I think I don't have them busting us nowhere. First of all, we ain't going. Second of all, it's gonna be terrible if you try to bust us. We've been on buses before. We've been in the back of buses. We couldn't sit in the front of buses. We sick of buses. We definitely ain't getting on no bus. In the airplane, um, I ain't looking at that too swift either. But them buses, no, we ain't doing no buses. You can kill that. Um, I think the country. So they was like, so what you think gonna happen? Um, and who gonna take them jobs? And so I said, in my previous conversation, I'm not going in no field, but I will. I like agriculture. I'm a landscaper. Um, Somebody gonna take them jobs. It's not like the country can't focus and can't function without them. I think that immigrants and migrants, I think they play a part. They play a vital part. It takes a lot of people to make the world turn. Um, so then they were saying like, well, what you think should happen? Um, that's really not my call. That's not my that's not my call because I had empathy for people. And because I come from that Christian background, um, in another fellowship I deal with, I can't cause harm. Um, and because I can't cause harm, I don't want to see no harm come to nobody. So it's really not our fight because they really ain't coming for us. And that's just my opinion. And that's just the opinion. And I have had conversations with my peers. Um, I believe across the board, I believe that we be all right because I just think we're special people. I think the creator has actually chosen us to be a special people. And the reason I say that is because no matter what we've been through, we still stand. We ain't jumping off no bridges. We ain't jumping in front of no buses. Um, our statistics, as far as that, are really low. I don't think we participate in that too well. Um, so I don't think that um, that's going to be a factor for us because we've been through so much that we know what hard times look like. We know what struggle look like. Um, so we've been there. So this is like really no new condition to us. We always work good behind the eight ball. You know, we always work good when our back up against the wall. Um, we work well under pressure. We look good under pressure. We make pressure look good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're gonna have our moments. We're gonna cry. We're gonna pray. We're gonna do all that, but we ain't gonna stop trying though. And to me, that's what makes us a special people. We just special. I think the Creator just got His hand on us, man, because I kind of see. You know, just let me go here for a second. I kind of see why other nationalities and other races, and I'm just talking about mine, I kind of see why they would wonder, like, what are these people made of? Like, whatever we do, they just keep coming. Like, so I probably would be a little some kind of way because some of the stuff we do it surprises me. Um, how you can go from zero to everything and still remain humble. That's the part um, that I like about us is that even though we are resilient, we don't brag a lot. We don't really mess with other people. We don't call people out in supermarkets and call them bad names because of their color. We go get what we gotta get, and we basically leave. Most of the time, when we get into an altercation, it's because somebody said something really to us. They come in our neighborhoods. We don't say nothing to them. We go in their neighborhoods. They want to know why we there. They want to call the police. We shouldn't be here. When you come in our neighborhood, you shouldn't be here either. We just don't pay you no mind because you're not a threat to us. If you was a threat to us, we probably would say something to you. But because you ain't a threat and we really don't pay you no mind, we already done counted you out. You really not important. So um, I'm kind of understanding the game a little bit. And yes, we are a threat. And because we a threat, I believe that's why we get attacked so much. And so we just a threat because our color of our skin. Not because we have a lot, not because we intelligent, but we are intelligent. And we make less look very well because we do a lot with less. And a lot of other people do a, a lot, I mean less with more, for real. Um, so, you know, I think I believe the way we was raised and how we seen people struggle and get up and provide and do the best for us. And we didn't have a lot, but we had what we needed, and we had family. And I think family is so important. But because we had family and we had good family structure and we had somebody in the neighborhood that cared for us, um, to take that with us is very important. And I don't think a lot of cultures they have it, but they don't have it like we have it. So um, that was one of the questions that was posed. Um, Another question that was posed is, um, I said somebody gonna take them jobs because they will. Um, Due process, they snatching people illegally. And I talked about it yesterday. And my take on that is the Constitution does say that you're supposed to have due process. It does say that. I believe that's in the First Amendment. I believe that this administration is I don't really care too much about the First Amendment because you broke the First Amendment and you know what the First Amendment is, and you came here illegally and you trying to eat illegally, you trying to stay illegally, and so you trying to work the system and you work in the system and you getting too much assistance, and the people who are here, I mean, once you really look at, and I need you to look at it for yourself, because when we come back to, I'm gonna come back to immigration again. I need you to look at it because I need your feedback on a lot of stuff so we can have this conversation. But from some people I've spoken with, um, they take was that y'all do too much. Like y'all doing too much right now. Like y'all in our neighborhoods, y'all soaking up space, y'all here illegally, y'all getting a lot of free assistance. Um, you building companies off of the back of one person. You sending your people over here, or they over here. They not paying taxes. They going to work. You got companies that hire them, won't hire us. They don't have no education. They can't count. They can't spell. They can't read. They can't talk. And you hiring people, and I said freedom of speech. It's in there, but I think due process is in the First Amendment too. And if I'm wrong, correct me. But I think it's in there. That's the fifth. Okay. Well, thank you. Fifth Amendment. It says in 1791, prosecutors individuals from self-incrimination guarantee due process and requires just compensation when private property is taken for public use. It also includes provisions regarding grand jury trials and double jeopardy. All right. I thought it was in the first two. First Amendment. I know freedom of speech in there. Right. Okay. So the first is United States Constitution guarantee several fundamental freedoms, especially as prosecute. Okay. So you got freedom of speech, religion, freedom of religion, speech, press, the right to assemble. Right. You're right. And the government. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's in the fifth. Thanks. See, that's what I be talking about. There's smart people out there. I knew it had to be Karen. She just don't know how much I appreciate her. She be giving me the blues for no apparent reason. All right, that's where we at. I got them twisted up. I'm good now. Okay, so they should have due process. Um, kind of think they saying that um you came over here the wrong way, and now you want me to give you a chance to have a hearing when you came the wrong way. So, to my understanding, if you come, you still have a chance to be a citizen, right? Um, if you come through, you come the wrong way, you go down there and you do the necessary paperwork process, they still will allow you to be a citizen of the United States. So now I'm kind of looking at, well, even though you came in here the wrong way, you technically still have a chance to straighten it out if you really want to be here. So why not just go down there and, hey, sweetie, Miss Anderson, I'm so proud of you and Darren. So if you come in here, just say you come in here the wrong way. You come in here the wrong way for whatever reason. Um, and they give you a chance to be a citizen. It's not like, I mean, it's a process. But if you go through the process and you get your paperwork and you go to the class, classes and all dues you're supposed to do, some people don't mind you being a citizen of the US. They really don't. I read it. So they not opposed of you being a citizen. I think they I think the opposition comes from you came over here and don't want to abide by the laws, but you want to stay. So you want to come over here, you want to do what you want to do. It's a process. You don't want to follow the process. You want to do everything under the process, and then you want to stay. And then when we say you can't stay, you want to buck against the system where we have rules. Um, every country have rules. Everything in life has rules. We have to follow the rules. So they was asking me if we have to follow the rules, why don't they have to follow the rules? I kind of try to stay out of it, but the more and more I kind of put my head into it, I kind of understand um, why it's when I say how many illegals, I said it was 11 point, what I say, 11 point million illegal. How many illegal immigrants and migrants are in the United States? 11 million. But it was 11 million in 2022. This 25. So if it says around 11 million, that's a lot of people. And the administration say they trying to grab 3,000 people a day. That's a lot of people spending a lot of money. So they say, because always take the podcast to the street. The street always give me something at the be podcast. So if you just tuning in, I'm answering questions from yesterday's podcast. They asked me about White's Market. So yesterday we talked about a lot about food. You might want to go back and look at it about meat. Just let me go back for a second. We talked about. I'll get back to that. Give me 1 second. Um, we was on meat yesterday, and all right, hold that thought, Lisa and Adon. Hold on two thoughts. So we was on supermarkets, and we talked about the best place to buy poultry and meat. Um, so we was on that, and the question came up with like White's Market. I didn't see White's Market on there of the top 8 um, good supermarkets. I didn't see it on there for the top 8 not so good. So Don poses a question, talk about Trump taking funding from public housing. Yeah, yeah, that's on the table. Um, it's four, it's 15.4 to 15.8 illegal aliens. So that's millions. That must be million. So it's 15 million. It's about 15 million. So if it's 15, it's 20. That's a lot of people trying to move out of the country. And trust and believe, they gonna try. I promise you they gonna try. The housing crisis, um, they gonna try to come for housing. I don't know why. So we talked about executive orders. Y'all gonna have to go back on that. So executive order is not law. Um, it's still a process, but it's only a process when they go up on a hill. So if the president puts an executive order out, it's actually law until somebody stops it or blocks it. So if it go up on the hill and don't nobody stop it, it's technically law. Um, Only thing about executive order is that you can abuse the power of executive order, and um, the people, quote unquote, still has the last say. Um, that's the only thing. But basically, when you're the president, you technically can do whatever you want to for real, especially if you had the people that back you. Um, like I've talked about before, we short in numbers. We just short in numbers. We short. We not running nothing. Um, we short in numbers. They big in numbers. I think we. I think they. I think they 220, and we 213. Well, we won a seat, so we should be 214, and they 220. So we short in numbers, and so when we vote, we short. The last vote we had four. We had four of them coming outside. So it's a couple bills that has been blocked. Um, the housing crisis has not went in effect yet, um, and it's a process. So we just had to see what that process gonna be, because it says we the people. Basically, that's what it says. But everything is a process. Um, so we're gonna have to wait for that process and see what that process looks like. Um, I I think that this administration has caught the world off guard, and we've never had a president like this in the White House. They breaking all the rules. They not following none. I think they making up stuff like they go. They putting people out the courtroom. They locking up senators. They locking up press out of the White House. You can't film in the White House. If you say anything against the administration, you banned. You can't come in. Um, they running up on people like it's really a mess. So we just gonna have to sit back and really keep our heads, stay on the game. And I try not to do a lot of politics. I think we have to do it because it's so important. And like I always say, it's important because we senior citizens. And if you're not seniors, you on your way. So all that healthcare stuff, all the education stuff, all that retirement stuff, all that social security and pension and all of that. I'm 63. I'm right there. I'm right there. Most of my friends, if they ain't there, they close. They we heading that way. So when it talks about these things, we are really going to be affected. Even though our offspring and the people under us going to be affected, we going to get it first. And then they going to get it. And like I had a conversation today, it's really our turn. It's not their turn. We try to make it seem like it's their turn. It's not. It's our turn because they are after us. You can't put them. Um, Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Her always trying to take me to a biblical. She always trying to grab me into this biblical warfare, and I ain't there right now. I might do. I might do a segment on um how how and I probably will do it because I'm kind of curious. I'll probably do something um that the Bible ties into how we live in every day. I will. I will. I just don't wanna, sometimes I try to stay away from that biblical because everybody can't understand that. And I don't really wanna make this that kind of channel. Um, so I kind of really want to stay into more reality, want to stay at a place where we can kind of understand and stay on the same balance because everybody don't understand revelations. And everybody don't understand what the last days mean. And then I have to go too far into the book. And when I go in that book, I need to understand why I'm going in that book. So it's a lot of things in that book I don't understand. And for some reasons, I won't be going in there a lot because I don't understand the Bible like that. Yeah, my mother was a minister. Yeah, I got all that. I get that. But um, I don't really want to go there a lot. So I will be backing away from that in the New World Order. Now, I will do something on the New World Order. I did say I wanted to do that. Karen's supposed to do it, but she act like she backed out of it. So I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know which one I'm gonna get. She said she was gonna do it. So um, when she sends me the presentation, I'll do it. I'll do it. But we ain't gonna stay there. Um, and I think that was kind of, hey Tony, I think that was kind of like really most of the questions that I was asked. And if you have a question, or if you want to pose a question, or if you have a statement, it's something you want me to read or something you think we could come together on, um, we can do that. If it's a particular topic you want to talk about, we can talk about that. And like I always say, this platform is for everybody, it ain't just for me. Um, I bought the platform just because I just wanted to have a podcast. I wasn't inspired by nobody. It wasn't nobody idea. I didn't ask nobody. I was like, I just want a podcast. So people know me. If I want something, I'm just gonna try to make it happen. Um, so that's kind of. I just wanted to answer some questions from yesterday. Um, I'll be on tomorrow at. I think I'm gonna do like 7. Might try to come on a little early, like 5:30. Uh, it's Thursday. You already know what happened. You already know what's going to happen. Thursday, I'm going skating. Let me say this. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. Some stuff you see in the news is not what it really is. Some stuff is true, and some stuff is not. In order for us to understand this, you're gonna have to do some reading. And you're gonna have to read and you're gonna have to get your own understanding and don't listen to people. And I'm only sharing it because when you start having conversations with people and I pick up my own understanding of something without reading it and without researching it, I don't really want to talk about it if I haven't read it or discussed it with somebody who can guide me and lead me in the right direction. And so if I'm ever on this platform and if I go left or if it's something that I say and it's not correct, then guide me to the right place. So I won't be giving out information that's untrue. Or now I can read something from one source and you can read something from another source, and it could have two different meanings. So that could happen. That could happen. Um, but I'm just saying that because I still need help with this. I can't do this without, like, this don't work without y'all. It don't work. It works. This works when everybody is participating. This work. I like to have these conversations because I think these conversations are needed. I like to get homage and thank everybody else who have a podcast who paid the way so we could just have a platform. Hey, Mr. Long, um, Beverly, a platform, just to talk. Um, I think that's good. I think it's needed. Um, as a people, I think this administration is actually going to make us stronger because we're going to have more empathy for people. Um, kind of get the sense that, and I gotta say this because this was another question. So if you just came in, I'm answering questions from the podcast from yesterday. The day after the podcast, most of the time, I'll answer questions from Texas or people I run into. Ain't nothing. Um, so they said, well, do you really like, Mexicans and Chicanos? I don't know why they stuck on this Mexican thing. Um, but they say, well, it don't seem like they like us. It don't seem like Africans like us. It don't seem like they get along with us. Everyone I've spoke to felt the same way, like they don't really get along with us. They don't really speak to us. And then my thing is, if you speak a different language and I speak a different language, how you gonna get along with me when I don't even know what you're talking about? So kind of couldn't really figure that one out. Um, but yeah, we funny. We real funny. Um, and we've been funny for a long time. And we don't really fool with a lot of people. We just we don't fool with a lot of people. Um, and I think that's pretty much all the questions that was asked to me. Um, and I tried to clear up as much from. I did some investigation. Um, the street always give me feedback the day after, and they'll say, they might say, look at the camera more. They might say, look, um, speak more clearly. Or they'll say, you have a feedback. Or they'll say, I can't hardly hear you. So I haven't seen that. So I'm tweaking. I got the light off because it bothers my eye. We're gonna put the logo up. The logo will be in the back by next week. Um, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Um, I don't think it's for everybody. You gotta kind of like to talk and think this is a platform where I'm not arrogant at all. I think I'm here um, for a reason. I don't know. Listen, ain't something I always wanted to do. I just woke up one day and was like, I just want to do this. I don't know why the creator had me here. I ain't question why. I just did it. I called my good friend. He my good friend. He my good friend. I called him and Damon Ramsey. He was there. He's still there for me. That's my engineer. I appreciate him so much. Appreciate all my people, all my friends who helped me. Um, and listen, let me say this before I go, because I always try to say it, man. Get yourself some friends. Get some. You're gonna need them. They're gonna need you. And if you have them and they dysfunctional, still keep them. Because we all dysfunctional. All my friends dysfunctional. They say something wrong with me, I beg to differ. Because my parents say birds of a feather flock together. That means it's something wrong with everybody I know. That's all I'm saying. But get yourself some friends. Good, bad, or indifference. Get them. You have some people who show you what to do, and you have some people who show you what not to do. And then you need people to balance you out because everybody intelligent in their own way. Everybody. Nobody born slow. Creator don't do that. Everybody was born with a talent. Now you had to tap into your talent. I just believe everybody was born with something special. Everybody has something special to bring to the table. And please, by any means necessary, don't never count them out. And like I said, and I said before, we just a special person. I mean, people, man, when you count us out, man, that's the wrong thing to do, to count us out. Because we ain't going nowhere. You know how much stuff we've been through? We still staying. Are you serious? Are you serious? Man, so listen. You know what time I'm coming on tomorrow? I think I'm gonna come with something different. We're gonna get off this election trail for a couple days. We're gonna come back to it, but we're gonna talk about some other stuff. Because it's a lot of stuff to talk about, but this just a hot topic. It's gonna be hot for a long time. And, you know, we're gonna have to dig in and we can't forget what times we living in, and we still got to eat and we still had to provide for our family. So employment is very important. Unemployment is not an option. Um, so we have to look at that. We have to be mindful of that because we going to work. And like I said, and I say it again, whoever said we don't like to work, I don't know who that person. All my friends like to work because all my friends like money. All my friends, most of my friends, the majority of my friends are responsible. They have jobs, they have cars, they have houses, they have mouths to feed besides their own. So whoever said that black people don't want to work, I don't know who said that. And it disturbs me when people say that because it's like ridiculous. It's like somebody said that people that don't live here, who come here, they like to work and we don't. No, I think people who come here, that was another question. They work and we don't. No, I believe the jobs that they take, we just don't want to do no more. It's a big lie. What they doing, we done in high school. Fix houses and a lot of stuff that they did, we did when for summer jobs. We grown. We don't want to do them jobs no more. I mean, we'll do them if we have to, but we at another level. The jobs they doing, my grandson, well, my grandson doing something different. But them jobs that they do, looking for work and all that. A lot of my friends went to school, graduated. They bus drivers, truck drivers, they do hair, they professors, they got degrees, they in school, So they moved on. It's not that they don't want to do those jobs no more. They elevated to another level. And when you elevate to another level, you want to do better for yourself. So no, my friends don't want to do them jobs because that's not what they do. They're not built like that to do those jobs. Like those skills, the stuff that they do, we did early on. I did, we did that stuff as they made us paint somebody's house for free. You had to paint your own house when you grew up. You had to wash your own steps when you grew up. You had to fix the railing, And if you had a dad or uncle, they took you with them and they showed you how to fix stuff, right? So fixing stuff, we've been fixing stuff all our life. Taught us how to fix ties and taught you how to tie a tie and all of that old type of stuff. But we did that stuff. So it's, and and when people say that to me, I get irritated. Well, they'll work for much of nothing. Well, we ain't working for much of nothing. That's just not gonna happen. We have too much to work for much of nothing. And we are more intelligent to work for much of nothing. Because much of nothing don't get none of our bills paid. We can't work for that. We be outside in the street. We require a certain amount of dollars per hour because that's what we worth. You have to know your worth. So because we are worth more, we demand more. And that's where we should be. We work to get paid a grown man and a grown woman's salary. That's what we do. And that's what we've been doing. So yeah, a lot of them jobs we don't want. A lot of those jobs we not trying to get. And a lot of those jobs we just not going to apply for. So y'all can have them jobs because my friend and people I know, we have careers. Now, a couple of people careers got snatched from them, but they smart, they're intelligent, they'll get another job, probably a better job. So I just wanted to share that because when I get those questions, I have to I try to answer them to the best of my ability. And my friends are intelligent. They are. Um, a lot of my friends are really intelligent, man. Um, my man, Donnie Glover, God bless him. I grew up with him. That's my good friend, man. I appreciate him. Um, Lorne Cornish, Lorne is really intelligent. He a little cuckoo who thinks something wrong one side of his brain, but that boy intelligent. And it's a couple people on this line. I just named them two. But a lot of my friends are really intelligent. They are. And I appreciate them, man. So I just want to kind of get that out there in the air because it irritates me when I hear people say that. Um, we have always wanted the best for ourselves. So don't come and shortchange us and say that we don't want to work. That's the biggest lie ever been told. We have too much stuff not to want to work. Our friends have stuff, good quality stuff. They live quality lives. They have good husbands. They have good wives. They live good. They eat good. They work hard and they play hard. They have nice cars. They have nice homes and they educate and they make sure their children educated and they do the best they can. So when people say that, don't let nobody say that to you. I ain't let no other race come here and tell me you work harder than me. I've been here all my life working. You escaping from a place to come and work. I've been here all my life, or we've been here all our life in these trenches. So I understand why people get angry when you come over here and you get the benefit that we don't get. And we've been in these trenches, in these streets our whole life. And you come over here and you rise, and you don't rise because there's a whole bunch of y'all helping each other and all. There's a whole bunch of us helping us. And they was like, well, they help each other and we don't. That's another lie. We help each other every day. A lot of us stick together. A lot of us call each other. A lot of us check on each other. A lot of us ain't gonna let nothing happen to the next person. My friends gonna make sure I eat. If I need something done and I call them, they gonna do the best they can to come help me because they know if they call me, I'm coming for them. So when people say that, I be like, that's a lie. You're lying. Somebody put that in your head. They don't stick together. I don't know why we don't stick together. We stick together as a race just like anybody else. They so separated. We ain't no more separated than nobody else. We always the target. We always been the target. We always gonna be the target. We used to being the target, but it's just certain stuff that you just can't say and me not say nothing. I ain't I'm not just gonna let you say anything you want because you can't. Because when you say something about somebody else, you talking about the whole race. You pointing out people, but you talking about us as a whole. Um, so I just wanted to bring that because there was a couple questions that came up yesterday, and so I said that I was going to address that stuff, man, because it's important. You ain't gonna you ain't no. We work too hard for not to get credit for the stuff we work for. I mean, I'm listen. I know better. I know better. So you know you can't feed me anything and then tell me it tastes good when I know it's a bad taste in my mouth. You can't. Um, and whenever I wake up, the sun gonna shine on me. I just believe we at a point we've been through so much we ain't need worry no more. And if I don't know nothing else, I know prayer change everything. I know it's a person in the White House, but I know somebody who hold the key and sits high and look low. So, you know, like I always say, I already know where our faith gonna go. I already know where our belief system gonna go. We ain't gonna be worried for no long time because he done already showed his face. He done already blessed us. He done already blessed us. We already blessed. We blessed now. In the midst of confusion, we still blessed. In the midst of confusion. In the midst of confusion, most of us still ain't been touched. I'm gonna say that again. In the midst of confusion, when it looked like it's bad, we still ain't been touched. I ain't missed a meal ever since we had a new president. I don't think I'm gonna miss one. I don't think I'm gonna miss one. He brought us too far. I don't even think we worried. We just having a conversation because we trying to stay vigilant. Are we really worried? I don't think so. We've been here before. People been here before we was born. Same thing we going through, somebody else gonna go through when we leave. Our children gonna go through something else. Our kids gonna live, our history gonna live. It's gonna live on. We're gonna live on. And we're gonna be good. So with that, I like to thank y'all for tuning in. You already know where I'm going. Come down there and get a little rolling with me. Um, and I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do either 5:30 or 7. I try to do 7 when everybody get home. We'll have a new topic tomorrow. Um, and we'll take some feedback. We'll take some calls. Plus it's getting dark and I don't feel like turning this light on. So this what I'm gonna do. I'm out of here. Am I out of here? Hold on. I'm out of here. I know I'm out of here. Let's go back over here and see. Because I don't want to be rude. So I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Trying to get out of here, yo. Hold on. Why won't let me on? Hold on. Think something wrong with me, though, y'all. I know y'all do. Y'all be like, this young man is gone. I am gone, though. I swear, but y'all better not tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell. Just pray for me. All right. That's it. That's all you do. You just pray for me. You can't find it, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. All right. So I'm out of here. I can't get out of here, y'all. I'm out of here. I see y'all later. I see